Make the ground shake.
Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Gummy, and today we are back for another statue tutorial. Today a bit more of a controversial one. We are doing Jake Paul, brother of Logan Paul, and also CEO, I guess, or owner of Team 10. So, again, a lot of you guys have been asking for this. A lot of you guys have been, like, begging that I don't do this. So, I thought I'd do it. If you don't want to watch the video, that's cool. I appreciate it. Next video will be out at some point next week. Stay tuned for that. If you are excited, however, again, if you enjoyed the video, a like is very much appreciated at the end on your way out. And if you haven't already, definitely consider subscribing. Also, as I mentioned before, I really do love reading your comments, whether it's a positive or a negative, so feel free to drop that down as well on your way out of the video. So anyways, without further ado, let's get straight into the tutorial. So the blocks you're going to need are the following. You'll need black concrete, grey concrete, light grey concrete, white concrete, clay, white clay, pink wool, pink concrete, block of quartz, light grey clay, light blue wool, dark oak planks, spruce planks, oak planks, and also birch planks. Now, just to clarify, I know this is called terracotta now, but it used to be called stained clay, so I call it clay. Just to clear that up. Anyways, so, what we're going to do. We're going to start off by building the front side of the legs. Now, the front side of the legs is 12 tall and 8 wide. We're going to be building it layer by layer, so each layer is 8 wide. There's 12 layers in total, hence the 12 by 8. We're going to be doing it left to right. So, after every layer, I'll give you guys an opportunity to pause if you need to do so. Of course, please do take that opportunity. I personally feel that the best way to do it is watch me do it, pause it, and then do it yourself. That's, I would say, the easiest way. But of course, it's up to you. Do whichever you feel most comfortable with. But yeah, it is there. If you want to take advantage of it, please do. If not, then that's cool. That's up to you. And again, at every section, I will pause as well and recap just so you guys don't get left behind. But anyways, let's get straight into building. So we're going to start off by finding a nice empty space, and again, bear in mind this is the front side we're building, so essentially the face is going to be facing the opposite way. So say this is the first row here, the head is going to be facing that way, so away from where we're building. Bear that in mind. So for the first layer, we're going to start by placing 8 concrete, or 8 black concrete, should I say. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that is the first layer. So the first layer again is 8 black concrete. The second layer is 1 black concrete, 1 grey concrete, 1 light grey, 2 black, 1 light grey, 1 grey, 1 black, and that is the second layer. The third layer is 1 clay, 2 black concrete, 2 clay, 2 black concrete, and 1 block of clay. Now, one thing I will say is if you're doing this on survival and clay is a bit of a pain to get hold of, feel free to use light grey wool. Works just as well. Personally, I like the texture on the clay. Just gives it a bit of more like a rough kind of look. But of course, if you don't have access to the materials, feel free to swap it out for more easy to obtain materials. So that is basically the shoes. That's the first 3 layers. Now we're going to be moving on to the trousers. So the fourth layer is going to be 1 white concrete, 1 clay, 2 white concrete, 1 clay, 1 white concrete, 1 clay, and 1 white concrete. So that is the fourth layer. For the fifth layer, we're going to do 1 clay, 2 white stained clay, or terracotta, 2 white concrete, 2 white terracotta, and 1 white concrete. So that is the first 5 layers. The 6th layer is going to be 1 clay, 1 white concrete, 2 clay, 1 white concrete, 1 clay, 1 white concrete, and 1 block of clay. And again, that is the 6th layer. So if you want to pause so far, you're more than welcome to do so. The 7th layer is 1 white concrete, 1 white terracotta, 1 clay, 1 white concrete, 1 clay, 1 white concrete, 1 white terracotta, and 1 clay. So slightly more difficult, but that is the 7th layer. The 8th layer is going to be 1 white concrete, 2 white terracotta, 2 white concrete, 2 white terracotta, and 1 white concrete. And that is, again, the 8th layer. The 9th layer is going to be 1 clay, 2 white concrete, 1 clay, 1 white concrete, 2 clay, and 1 white concrete, and that is the 9th layer. The 10th layer is going to be 1 white concrete, 1 clay, 1 white concrete, 1 clay, 3 white concrete, 1 clay, and that is the 10th layer. The 11th layer is going to be 2 clay, 3 white concrete, 1 clay, 2 white concrete, and that is the second to last layer, the 11th layer. And then the 12th and final layer is going to be 1 clay, 1 white concrete, 1 clay, 1 white concrete, 1 clay, 2 white concrete, and 1 block of clay. And once you've done that, that will be 12 tall and 8 wide, and that is the front side of the legs. As you can see, the pattern is essentially black shoes with like the little grey on the front, just being kind of like a variation in colour. And then he's wearing kind of like a light greyish kind of jeans with rips in it, so that's kind of like his knees, and then lower legs shining through. So that's essentially what you're looking at. This is the front side of the legs. Again, it's 12 tall and 8 blocks wide. Now, the next part, which is, I guess, just as detailed, is the upper body. So for the upper body, we're going to be putting on his famous pink merchandise, which is the pink jumper with the JP written on the front, and then on the back it actually says Jake Paul's, I think it says Jake Paul's 10, but of course we couldn't fit that, so we just put JP instead. But we'll get to the back later on. For now we're going to worry about the front side. So this is the 13th layer, and this is the first layer of the body. The body is again 12 by 8, so 12 tall, 8 wide, so let's begin. The first layer is going to be 2 pink wool, 2 pink concrete, 1 pink wool, 1 pink concrete, and 2 pink wool. Now, for the purpose of time, I'm going to say wool and concrete for this section. Please just assume that I'm talking about pink unless I otherwise specify. So for this section, again, when I say wool, I mean pink wool. When I say concrete, I mean pink concrete. What we're then going to do, however, is on the left side, we're going to go 1 to the left using white terracotta. We're then going to grab ourselves our light grey terracotta. So we go 1 to the left using light grey terracotta, and then 2 white. Well, we're then going to repeat this on the right side, so we go 1 to the right using white terracotta, 1 light grey, and 2 white, and essentially what we're doing is marking out where the hands go. We'll come back later on and build those, but for now it's just marking it out, saving a bit of time later on down the line, so we don't actually have to come back and count and figure out where everything goes. That's basically just marking things out. Again, we're going to ignore the arms now, we're just going to continue with the body, but it just saves time later on in the video. So anyways, in terms of the body, we're going to continue now with the second layer. So we come back to this pink wool right here, and we're going to start off by placing 1 pink wool. To the right of this, we place 2 concrete, 1 wool, 1 concrete, wool, concrete, wool. And again, that is the second layer of the body. The third layer is going to be 2 concrete, 2 wool, 1 concrete, 2 wool, and 1 concrete. And that is the third layer. The fourth layer is going to be 1 concrete, 1 wool, 1 concrete, 1 wool, 2 concrete, wool, and 1 concrete, and that is the fourth layer of the body. The fifth layer is going to be 2 concrete, 1 wool, 1 concrete, 1 wool, and this is where we're going to change a tiny bit, so we're going to grab ourselves our quartz, so I'll just swap that over, and we're going to place 1 quartz, 1 concrete, and 1 pink wool. And that is the fifth layer. The sixth layer, the halfway point, is going to be 1 pink wool, 1 concrete, 1 wool, 1 concrete, 1 wool, 1 quartz, 1 concrete, 1 wool. So very, very simple. And that is the sixth layer. So the halfway point. The seventh layer we're going to do is 1 concrete, 1 wool, 1 concrete, 1 wool, 1 quartz. Then what we're going to do is, again, just a little bit of reorganizing. It's actually on my hotbar. We're going to grab ourselves our white concrete, and we're going to place next to the quartz here, we place 1 white concrete, 1 quartz, and 1 white concrete. So that is the 7th layer. The 8th layer is going to be 1 wool, 1 concrete, 1 wool. Then we're going to place 1 white concrete. So again, 1 white concrete, 1 pink wool, 1 quartz, 1 pink concrete, 1 quartz. So that is your 8th layer. So, almost there. The ninth layer is going to be 2 pink wool, 2 concrete, 1 wool, 1 quartz, 1 white concrete, and 1 quartz. And that is our ninth layer. The 10th layer is going to be 1 concrete, 1 wool, 1 concrete, 1 wool, 1 concrete, 1 quartz, 2 concrete, and that is our 10th layer. Our 11th layer, our second to last layer, is going to be 1 wool, 1 concrete, 2 wool. We're then going to place 1 white concrete, 1 quartz, 1 white concrete, and 1 wool. And then for our final layer, which is the 12th layer, we're going to place 1 concrete, 1 wool, 1 concrete, 2 white terracotta, 1 concrete, 1 wool, and 1 concrete. And once you've done that, that is a 12 by 8, and that is the front side of the body complete. So for this, I'm going to get rid of my arm, just so you guys can have a closer look, because I do appreciate that was relatively complicated. So again, please take all the time in the world that you need to pause there and basically replicate this. And yeah, once you've done that, we can move swiftly along onto the next part of the tutorial. Okie dokie. So again, just backing up so far, what you can see right now, that is this part is 24 tall and 8 blocks wide. I was about to say 16 wide. It is 16 wide if you include the arms, but we haven't built them yet. But speaking of said arms, that's what we're going to work on right about now. So again, if you don't have something looking like this, feel free to go back in the video, see where things haven't gone quite to plan. Otherwise, we're going to continue at a bit of a pace, so this video doesn't drag on for too long. So, in regards to the arms, as we did before, we marked out the first layer. Essentially, this is the 13th layer of the build, so we go 4 blocks to the left, 4 blocks to the right. If you haven't done this, again, you come 13 blocks up, so this is the 13th layer, and we then build 4 to the left, 4 to the right. On the left side, one white terracotta, 1 light grey terracotta, 2 white, and then same for the other side, just mirrored over. So we're going to work on the left side first. Each arm is 12 tall and 4 wide, and again we're going to be working from left to right. So the second layer is going to be 4 white terracotta. The third layer is going to be 2 pink wool, 1 pink concrete, 1 pink wool. Same policy applies here. If I say wool, assure that I'm with pink wool, and if I say concrete, I'm talking about pink concrete. So the fourth layer is going to be 1 concrete, 1 wool, 1 concrete, 2 concrete, and it will link up just like that, and that is the fourth layer. The fifth layer is going to be 1 concrete, 1 wool, 1 concrete, 1 wool. The next layer, which is the sixth layer, is going to be 1 wool, 2 concrete, 1 wool, and that is the sixth layer. The seventh layer is going to be 1 wool, 1 concrete, 1 wool, 1 concrete, and that is the seventh layer. Yeah, 7th layer. Sorry, that took me a second there to realise where we were. The next layer, which is the 8th layer, is going to be 1 concrete, 2 wool, 1 concrete, and that is again the 8th layer. The 9th layer is going to be 1 concrete, 1 wool, 2 concrete. The next layer, which is the 10th layer, is going to be 1 wool, 2 concrete, 1 wool. Second to last layer, the 11th layer, is going to be 1 concrete, 2 wool, 1 concrete, and then the 12th and final layer is going to be 1 concrete, 1 wool, and 2 blocks of concrete. And once you've done that, that is the left side of the arm complete. As you can see here, that is 12 blocks tall, 4 blocks wide, and will meet up with the exact same height as the top of the body. So, in regards to the right arm now, we're going to start off just like we did before. It is slightly different, so I'm going to go over it. So we come to the 13th layer of the build. The first layer is 1 white terracotta, 1 light grey, and then 2 white. The second layer, just like before, we're going to go from left to right, is going to be 4 white terracotta. The third layer is going to be 1 wool, 1 concrete, 2 wool. And as I said, it is very, very similar to the other side, but please be aware there is a few slight differences. So the fourth layer is going to be 2 concrete, 1 wall, 1 concrete. The fifth layer is going to be 1 wall, 1 concrete, 1 wall, 1 concrete. So again, that is the fifth layer. The sixth layer is going to be 3 concrete, 1 wall. On top of this, we're going to do 2 wall, 1 concrete, 1 wall. On top of that, we're going to do 1 concrete, 2 wall, 1 concrete. Again, just backing up so you can see, that is the 8th layer. On top of this, for the 9th layer, we're going to do 1 wall, 1 concrete, 1 wall, 1 concrete. For the 10th layer, we're going to do 1 wall, 2 concrete, 1 wall. The 11th layer, which is the second to last layer, we're going to do 1 concrete, 2 wall, 1 concrete, and then the 12th and final layer is going to be 2 concrete, 1 wall, and 1 concrete. So that is the right arm complete. Again, as you can see, there's a few small variations to the left arm. Again, if you want to pause, feel free to do so. And what I'm in fact going to do now is also show you the legs, just in case you want to go back to that and make sure everything is all good there. So again, this is 12 tall and 8 wide. And moving on up, we have the body, which is also 12 tall, 8 wide, and each arm, which is 12 tall and 4 wide. So, making really good progress. As you can see, right now it should look something like this. What I will also point out is, whilst I didn't add it to the original design, what you can do, if you want to, is you can grab a different coloured pink block. So whether that's the pink clay, or the pink wool, or pink concrete powder, so various different blocks you can use. I'm going to use the pink terracotta. What you can also do is either side of the white terracotta in the middle, you can do something like that, and it makes it look like he's got like the hoodie little strings coming down if you want to do that. Personally, I didn't want to add it to the design, but it's also an option if you want to do that. So again, feel free to play around with that if you want to. But what we're going to do now is start making this 3D, because right now we have a nice little pixel art of some legs and a Jake Paul hoodie. But what we're going to do now is actually start building the sides and turning it into an actual 3D statue. So the way we're going to do this is by coming to the bottom left corner, come around to the left side, and we're going to expand 1, 2, 3 to the left using black concrete. Now, the left side, and in fact the sides in general, are 12 tall and 4 wide. However, the fourth row is already done, because you are looking at it right here. This is the fourth block of every row, which means we're only placing 3 blocks per layer, and we're going to go left to right, 3 blocks per layer, 12 layers in total. So, the first layer, as we've already done, is 3 black concrete. The second layer, again, is 3 black concrete. On top of this, we're going to do 1 clay and 2 white concrete. And that is the third layer. The fourth layer is going to be 1 white concrete and 2 clay. On top of this, we're going to do 1 white concrete, 1 clay, and 1 white concrete. And that is the fifth layer. For the sixth layer, we're going to do 3 white concrete. Then on top of that, we're going to do 1 clay, 1 white concrete, and 1 clay. Next, what we're going to do is 1 clay, 2 white concrete. On top of that, we're going to do 1 white concrete, 1 clay, and 1 white concrete. And again, just backing up so you can see what it looks like so far. Moving on to the next layer, which is the 10th layer, we're going to do 1 white concrete, 2 clay. The 11th layer, which is the second to last layer, is going to be 1 clay, 2 white concrete. And then the final layer is going to be 1 white concrete, 1 clay, and 1 white concrete. And that is a 12x4, that is the left side of the leg complete. Again, if you want to pause, feel free to do so right about now. And we're now going to head round to the right side and work on the right side of the leg. Again, from a side angle, you can see the pattern from the front side kind of covers around to the edge as well, which is what we intended when I worked on the original design for this. So, coming around to the right side now, we're going to do the same. So we go 3 blocks to the right with the black concrete. The second layer, again, is going to be 3 black concrete, and the same logic applies on this side as it did on the left side. This is the fourth block of every layer, and in this case it's kind of the first block of every layer, and then next to it we're going to be placing 3 blocks. So for the third layer, we're going to place 2 white concrete and 1 clay. For the fourth layer, we're going to place 2 clay and 1 white concrete. For the fifth layer, we place 1 white concrete, 1 clay, and 1 white concrete. And then for the 6th layer, we're going to place 1 clay and 2 white concrete. For the 7th layer, we're going to place 2 white concrete and 1 clay. On top of this, we're going to place 1 clay and 2 white concrete. Next, we're going to place 1 white concrete and 2 clay. Whoops. And don't do what I'm doing, which is absolutely destroying it and making a mess. So as you can see, again, just to repeat that, that is 1 white concrete and 2 clay. The 10th layer, we're going to do 3 white concrete, so it is slightly different to the other side, bear that in mind. The next layer, which is the 11th layer, is going to be 1 white concrete, 1 clay, and 1 white concrete. The 12th and final layer is going to be 2 white concrete and 1 clay, and once you've done that, that is the right side of the leg complete. Again, 12 by 4, but again, just to stress, it is different from the left side, so please, please, please do bear that in mind. Again, from a corner angle, looks like this. You can see the same pattern from the front, goes around to the side, which is perfect. So, if we now come around to the rear side, what we're going to do is start building a platform for the sides of the arms. We're basically going to build up the sides of the arms in the same way we did the side of the leg. However, to do this, we need a platform. So what we do is we come to the bottom of this white terracotta here on each side, and we're going to build 1, 2, 3 all the way back, all the way across, and as you can see, if you do it correctly, it will turn into a 4x4 square from below. If you don't do this, at the end of the build, you'll have something that looks like this. It will have like a 2x2 square, or in fact, it'll be a 3x2 square rectangle. That's not a square, just had to correct myself. And it will be a massive hole in the bottom of the hand, and it won't look too good. So make sure you extend all of them 3 blocks back, and we do the exact same on the other side as well. So we go 1, 2, 3. Make sure you also do it in the right direction, facing the same direction as the side of the legs. Otherwise, what you have is something that looks a bit like this, and it doesn't look too good. So again, make sure it's facing in the right direction, and once you've done that, from below it will look like this. On the left side you got a 4x4 square, and on the right side again a 4x4 square. So heading around to the left side, because we're going to work on that side first, what you'll have is almost a backwards L shape at this point. So it's 12x4, the first layer is already done, and again the 4th block on every layer is done. So that means we're placing 3 blocks per layer, 11 layers, and then the 12th is done there already for us. So the first layer, as you can see, is already done. That's 3 white terracotta. The second layer is the exact same, 3 white terracotta. Now, going from left to right, the third layer is going to be 1 pink wall. And again, same logic applies. If I refer to wall, it's the pink. If I refer to concrete, it's pink. Unless otherwise stated. So, the next 2 blocks is going to be concrete. So that's the third layer. 1 wall, 2 concrete. The 4th layer is going to be 1 concrete, 2 wall. And that is, again, the 4th layer. The 5th layer is going to be 1 wall, 1 concrete, 1 wall. And on top of that, we're going to do 1 wall, 2 concrete. And that is the 6th layer. For the 7th layer, we're going to do 1 concrete, 1 wall, 1 concrete. And for the 8th layer, we're going to do 1 wall, 1 concrete, 1 wall. Next, we're going to do 2 wall, 1 concrete. For the 10th layer, we're going to do 2 concrete, 1 wall. For the second to last layer, we're going to do 1 wall, 1 concrete, 1 wall. And then for the last layer, the 12th layer, we're going to do 1 concrete, 1 wall, and 1 concrete. So that is a 12x4. Of course, the first 2 layers is white terracotta, and we have 10 layers of pink concrete and pink wall. From a side angle, looks like this. And again, if you want to pause, feel free to do so. Coming around to the right side, again, very, very similar. It's not the exact same, but the same kind of logic applies. It is 12x4, 4th block already here, and first layer done. Second layer is going to be 3 white terracotta. The third layer is going to be 2 concrete, 1 wall. On top of this, we're going to do 1 wall, 2 concrete. The next layer, the 5th layer, is going to be 1 concrete, 2 wall. We're then going to do 2 concrete, 1 wall. I think I said 1... I'm not sure what I said there. I feel like I said that wrong. I feel like I said 2 wall, 1 concrete. It's in fact 1 concrete, 2 wall, and then the next one is 2 concrete, 1 wall. Might have said that correct. Don't know why I just said that. Anyways, next layer is going to be 1 concrete, 1 wall, 1 concrete. And on top of that, we're going to do 1 wall, 1 concrete, 1 wall. The next layer is going to be 1 concrete, 2 wall. The 10th layer is going to be 1 wall, 2 concrete. The 11th layer, the second to last layer, is going to be 1 wall, 1 concrete, 1 wall. And then the 12th and final layer is going to be 1 concrete, 1 wall, and 1 block of concrete. So that is a 12 by 4. Again, that is the right side of the arm. And from a side angle, once again, looks like this. As you can see, the statue is now really starting to come alive. However, if we come around to the rear side, you'll notice not so much. There is a massive area which is not done, and that's what we're going to work on completing right about now. So, starting off with the rear side of the legs is 12 tall and 8 wide. However, you'll notice, just like instead of the front side, we have the left side and the right side already complete. So that's 2 blocks for each layer already done. Now the good news is that's the far left side and the far right, which means all we're doing is joining each side together. That's basically kind of like markers of where each starts and stops. So what we're going to do is, for the first layer, place 6 black concrete. On top of this, again, we're going to place another 6 black concrete, and we're just going to repeat this layer by layer, just with the different blocks. So, next to this clay here, for the third layer, we're going to place 2 white concrete, 2 clay, and 2 white concrete, and that is the third layer. For the fourth layer, we're going to place 1 clay, 1 white concrete, 1 clay, 1 white concrete, 1 clay, and 1 white concrete. That's the fourth layer. The fifth layer is going to be 5 white concrete and 1 clay. So again, that's the fifth layer. The sixth layer is going to be 2 clay, 1 white concrete, 1 clay, 1 white concrete, and 1 block of clay, and that is 6 blocks tall. That's the sixth layer. The seventh layer is going to be 1 white concrete, 1 clay, 2 white concrete, 1 clay, and 1 white concrete, and that's the seventh layer. The eighth layer is going to be 2 white concrete, 1 clay, 2 white concrete, 1 clay. On top of this, we're going to do 1 white concrete, 1 clay, 3 white concrete, 1 clay. The next layer is going to be the 10th layer. It's going to be 2 clay, 1 white concrete, 2 clay, and 1 white concrete. The 11th layer, the second to last layer, is going to be 2 white concrete, 1 clay, 1 white concrete, 1 clay, and 1 white concrete. And then the 12th and final layer is going to be 1 clay, 1 white concrete, 1 clay, 2 white concrete, and 1 block of clay. And that is the rear side of the legs. As you can tell, slightly different to the front side in the fact that the front side had the white terracotta as like kind of like the tears in the jeans. This time we're not doing that, of course, because traditionally jeans that have tears in don't have tears in the rear side. That would be a bit peculiar. But yeah, anyways, as you can see, that is 2 layers of black concrete, 10 layers of the white concrete and clay, and that is the rear side. Of course, we will be coming back to it later on in the video, just in case any of you guys got left behind just about then. But now what we're going to do is move on to the rear side of the body. So, for the rear side of the body, of course, just like before, we're going to start on the left side and we're going to work up layer by layer. Also, just like the front side, it's going to be 12 tall and 8 blocks wide. So the blocks you're going to need for this section are simply going to be your pink wall, your pink concrete, your block of quartz, and your white concrete. So, of course, you've got the pink wall and the pink concrete, which is going to be for the majority of the jumper, and then the JP for the Jake Paulers is going to be out of quartz and white concrete. Now, as I mentioned before, on the official merchandise, it does actually say Jake Paulers and then Team 10, but of course we are heavily restricted by space here, hence I've just restricted it down to JP. If you want to play around with it and try and fit in the part of the 10, feel free, but again, it's tricky. I've tried it. So, let's begin. So, layer number 1 is going to be 1 pink wall, 2 pink concrete, 2 wall, 1 concrete, and 2 wall, and again that is layer number 1. For layer number 2, we're going to do 1 concrete, 3 wall, 1 concrete, 1 wall, 1 concrete, 1 wall, and again that is layer number 2. For the third layer, we're going to do 2 concrete, 1 wall, 1 concrete, 2 wall, 2 concrete, and that is our third layer. Layer number 4, we're going to do 2 wall, 2 concrete, 1 wall, 1 concrete, and 2 blocks of wall, and that is our fourth layer. So again, just a second to pause if you need to do so. Moving on, layer number 5 is going to be 1 wall, 1 concrete, 2 wall, 1 concrete, 1 wall, 1 concrete, 1 wool. And again, that is layer number 5. Now, layer number 6 is where we start off with the JP. So we're going to place 1 pink concrete, 1 quartz, 1 white concrete, 1 pink wool, 1 quartz, 1 concrete, 1 wool, 1 concrete. And that is layer number 6. For the 7th layer, we're going to start off with 1 white concrete, 1 pink concrete, 1 quartz, 1 pink concrete, 1 white concrete, 1 pink wool, 1 pink concrete, and 1 pink wool. And that is layer number 7. For layer number 8, we're going to do 1 pink wool, 1 pink concrete, 1 quartz, 1 pink wool, 1 quartz, 1 white concrete, 1 quartz, and another white concrete. The next layer we're going to do is going to be 1 pink concrete, 1 pink wool, 1 white concrete, 1 pink concrete, 1 quartz, 1 pink concrete, 1 pink wool, and 1 quartz. The next layer, which is the 10th layer, is going to be 1 white concrete, 3 blocks of quartz, 1 white concrete, 1 quartz, 1 white concrete, and 1 quartz. And again, that is layer number 10, and that's going to be the top of the JP logo. The 11th layer, the second to last layer, is going to be 1 pink wool, 2 concrete, 2 wool, 2 concrete, 1 wool, and then the final layer is going to be 8 blocks of pink concrete. Now that is going to be covered up by the hood we're going to build later on. So for now, that is the rear side of the body. Now one thing you can do, if you want to do, is replace this pink concrete right here with either a quartz or a white concrete, just so it's a more kind of like rigid J. But of course, I kind of like it like that. It just adds a bit more shape to it. But of course, you can change it if you feel it's necessary. But anyways, that is the rear side of the body. Again, that is 12 tall and 8 blocks wide. And if you want to pause, you are more than welcome to do so. Again, I highly recommend it. So what we're now going to do is start working on the rear side of each arm. We're going to start with the rear of the right arm, or in this case, it's our left side from what we're facing. So just like before with the other sides, we've already got 1 row complete, or 1 layer complete, and that means we're placing 3 blocks per layer. Again, we're going to be going left to right, so let's begin. So the first layer, what we're going to do is start off counting from the 3rd block, and we're going to replace that with a light grey terracotta. On top of this, we're going to place 3 white terracotta. So that's the first 2 layers complete. Now, you don't have to add this. It's kind of like adding fingers. I guess it's kind of what it's trying to replicate. It's trying to add a bit of texture, so it's not just like a white blob. But again, you don't have to add that on the rear side if you don't want to. So anyways, for the 3rd layer, we're going to do 1 concrete. And again, bear in mind when I say concrete, I'm referring to pink. Wool is going to also be pink. 2 wool. The 4th layer is going to be 1 wool, 1 concrete, 1 wool. The 5th layer is going to be 3 blocks of concrete. The 6th layer is going to be 1 concrete, 2 wool. On top of this, we're going to do 1 wool, 1 concrete, 1 wool. Next, we're going to do 1 wool and 2 concrete. Again, just backing up so you can see what it looks like. On top of this, we're going to do 1 concrete, 2 wool. We're then going to do 1 wool, 2 concrete. For the 11th layer, we're going to do 1 concrete, 1 wool, 1 concrete. And for the 12th and final layer, we're going to do 3 blocks of pink wool. And that is the rear of the right arm. Now, in regards to the rear of the other arm, it's going to be the exact same. So we head over, and just like before, we're going to start on the first layer by punching out this time the 2nd block, replacing with light grey terracotta, and placing a row of 3 white terracotta on top. From now on, for the 3rd layer, we're going to do 2 wool, 1 concrete. On top of this, we're going to do 1 wool, 1 concrete, 1 wool. We're then going to do 3 concrete, so that's the first 5 layers complete. The 6th layer is going to be 2 wool, 1 concrete. The 7th layer is going to be 1 wool, 1 concrete, 1 wool. On top of this, for the 8th layer, we're going to do 2 concrete, 1 wool. The 9th layer is 2 wool, 1 concrete. The 10th layer is 2 concrete, 1 wool. The 11th layer is concrete, wool, concrete. And then the 12th and final layer is 3 blocks of pink wool. And that is the rear side of that arm. So yeah, exact same on each side, just mirrored, and it ends up looking something like this. Now that is of course the rear side of the body complete. However, to wrap up the body, we need to come around to the front side and to the top where the shoulders are. What we're going to do is, on the left side, we're going to start at the furthest back corner, this part here. We're going to place 1 pink wall and 2 concrete. And in front of this, we're going to place 1 concrete, 1 wall, 1 concrete. Essentially, this gives us a 4x4 square, as you can see, in the left corner. And we're now going to head over to the right corner. And again, bear in mind, you need to be facing from the front side on. We're going to start off in the back right corner, and going from right to left this time, this is the one exception. We're going to place 1 wall, 2 concrete, and in front of this, 1 concrete, 1 wall, 1 concrete. So you'll end up with something that looks like this. As you can see, it's the exact same on each side, and you'll have a gap in the middle. For the gap in the middle, feel free to just go ahead and cover this all in with pink concrete. Doesn't really matter which block you use, it's going to be covered up by the head, and you'll be left with something that looks like this. That is a 16x4, and that is the shoulders. So yeah, once you've done that, that is the body of the statue complete. What I'm going to do is a little spin around just before we move on to the head to make sure everyone is up to the same point and make sure everyone has the correct build so far. So just like normal recaps, if you haven't seen my videos, I'm going to go part to part to part. So for example, I'm going to come to the front side of the legs, I'm going to state the height and the width, so it's 12x8. I'm also going to state whether there's any 3D effects. Luckily on this statue so far there is no 3D effects, so not going to have to worry about that. Nice and simple. So anyways, let's begin. Again, after every section, feel free to pause. Take your time, do whatever you want to do. So, this is the front side of the legs, just like I said before, it is 12x8. Moving on up, we have the front side of the body, which is again 12x8, and the front side of each arm, which is 12x4. Again, just a brief second. Moving around to the left side, we have the left side of the leg, that is 12x4. We have the underside of the left arm, which is 4x4. And we have the left side of the arm, which is again 12x4. Coming around to the right side, we have the right side of the leg, which is again 12x4. We have the underside of the hand, 4x4, and then the right side of the arm, which is again 12x4. Coming around to the rear side, we have the rear side of the legs, this is 12x8. Moving on up, we have the rear side of the body, which is again 12x8, and the rear side of each arm, which is 12x4. The final side, which is the shoulders, is 16x4. However, the only part that really matters that much is the 4x4 part on each side, the left side and the right side. The middle part is going to be covered up by the head, so isn't that important. So anyways, let's get straight into building the head. So for the head, going to have to change up our inventory a bit. The main blocks you're going to need are the following. You'll need white terracotta, light grey terracotta, quartz, our light blue wool, our light blue terracotta, and then your different types of wood. So that being dark oak, spruce, oak, and birch. So quite a few variations, but that's because his hair is kind of a, like blondish brown colour. So we're going to be adding lots of different highlights and lots of different textures to try and get that desired look. So anyways, let's begin. Make sure you're at the front side with the smaller JP logo, and we're going to start on the front left corner. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the 5th block we place 1 white terracotta and bring it 2 forwards. On the right side, we're going to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on the 5th block, place white terracotta, bring it 2 forwards. What we're then going to do is, in the middle, there should be a 6 block gap. We're going to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and on the second layer, 1, 2, and then 2 light grey terracotta and 1, 2. And what this gives us is an 8x2 overhang, as you can see right here, and that is going to be the front side, which we'll expand on later on. For the sides, what we're going to do is come around and we're going to expand 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 backwards, and if you do it better than me, you should have a 2 block overhang on the rear side, just like the front side. This time we're going to go ahead and join them together by a 6x2 of white terracotta, and once you've done that, that will give you an 8x8 square, as you can see right here. This is going to be a template for the head, so we've got the front side, left side, right side, and rear side, and we're going to start off by building the front side, aka the face. So, front side. First layer, again, bear in mind, is an 8x8 square. The first layer is 8 wide. So we got 3 white terracotta, 2 light grey terracotta, 3 white terracotta. The second layer is going to be 8 white terracotta, so nice and simple. The third layer is going to be 1 white terracotta, 1 quartz, 1 light blue terracotta, 2 white terracotta, 1 light blue, 1 quartz, 1 white. The fourth layer is going to be exact same, but instead of light blue terracotta, we're going to be using light blue wool. So we do 1 white clay, 1 quartz, 1 light blue wool, 2 white, 1 light blue, 1 quartz, and 1 white. And that is the fourth layer. For the fifth layer, we're going to do 1 white terracotta, 2 dark oak planks, 2 white terracotta, 2 dark oak planks, and 1 white terracotta. The next layer, starting off with the hair, we're going to place 1 spruce, 2 oak, 1 spruce, 3 white terracotta, and 1 spruce. And that is the 6th layer. The 7th layer, which is the second to last layer, we're going to place 1 oak, 1 birch, 3 oak, 1 spruce, 1 oak, 1 birch. And then the 8th and final layer, we're going to place 3 oak, 1 birch, 1 spruce, 1 oak, 1 birch, 1 oak. And that is the front side of the face. That is an 8x8 square. And what we're going to go ahead and do, because Jake Paul's hair is of course not flat, it's kind of spiked up at the front, we're going to add like a fringe 3D effect. So we're going to come to the top left corner. We're going to go down to this spruce plank here, so the third block down, this is the 6th layer. And in front of this, we're going to place another spruce block as a 3D effect. We're then going to count 2 over, so place 2 oak planks and 1 spruce. So this is the first layer. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to come up to the second layer and come to the second block. Ignore the first one, place a birch, 3 oak, 1 spruce, 1 oak, and then ignore the final block right here. Now for the final layer, just above this birch here, we're going to leave 1. We're then going to place 1 spruce, 1 oak, 1 birch, 1 oak. And it ends up looking something like this. So again, if you want to pause, feel free to do so. I'm trying to give you as many angles as possible, just so it's as easy to see again as possible. If I back up, you'll see it ends up coming out looking like this. So we have like the fringe, which often he does have spiked up, often he does have flat down. So you can play around with it, do whatever you want to do. But personally, I quite like this look, so that's what I kept. So yeah, that is the front side. Again, that's an 8x8, and of course with the 3D effect. What we're now going to do is come around to the left side and start working on that. One thing to note is that there is a lot of different textures here, so I'm going to go relatively slow, but I don't want to go slow enough to bore you guys. So again, please, 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 do take full advantage of the ability to pause the video. It's a great feature that YouTube does indeed offer. So just like the front side, this is indeed an 8x8 square. The first layer is simply 8 white terracotta. The second layer, just as simple, is going to be 7 because the 8th block is already placed. The third layer, going from left to right, is going to be 1 spruce, 1 oak, 1 birch, and 4 white terracotta. And again, that's the third layer. This is where things get a bit more difficult now. So for the fourth layer, we're going to do 1 oak, 2 spruce, 1 oak, 1 spruce, 1 white terracotta, and 1 oak. The fifth layer is going to be 1 birch, 1 oak, 1 birch, 1 oak, 1 birch, 1 oak, 1 birch. So a bit of a easy pattern there. The next layer, which is the 6th layer, is going to be 1 oak, 1 spruce, 1 oak, 1 spruce, 1 oak, 1 spruce, 1 oak. So you can see a bit of a pattern forming there. The 7th layer is going to be 1 oak, 1 birch, oak, birch, oak, birch, and just to throw a bit of a curveball, 1 spruce. And then the 8th and final layer is going to be 1 oak, 2 spruce, 2 oak, 1 spruce, and 1 block of oak. And that is the left side of the head. Again, that's an 8x8 square. If you want to pause, feel free. And one thing to bear in mind, this is the front side, this little 3D effect here, so don't worry about it. Now, the one thing we do need to add, which is quite important, we'll replace the 2 blues. We'll grab ourselves our pink wool and our pink concrete. We're going to start building the hood. So this is a 3D effect. We come to the bottom left corner and we're going to place 1 pink wool. To the right of this, we place 2 pink concrete, 1 wool, 1 concrete. So that is 5 blocks in total. Now on top of this, on the left side, we're going to place 1 concrete and 1 wool again. So as you can see, we've kind of got a 2x2 square and then 3 blocks coming off the side. And this is all you need to do for the left side. We'll repeat this on the right side. Talking of the right side, we're now going to head around there and do that. Of course, again, if you want to pause, feel free. And one thing I do want to mention is if you want to add ears, you can simply by using 2 white terracotta, place them right there and it will look good. But yeah, I haven't really experimented too much with ears. I never really use them in my builds, but if you want to add that, that is the place to add them. Just a thought. So anyways, let's head round to the right side. For the right side, very similar to the other side, we're going to start off the first 2 layers being white terracotta. The third layer is going to be 4 white terracotta, 1 birch, 1 oak, 1 spruce. The fourth layer is going to be 1 oak, 1 white terracotta, 1 spruce, 1 oak, 2 spruce, 1 oak. The next layer, which is the 5th layer, is going to be 1 birch, 1 oak, birch, oak, birch, oak, birch. So again, that is the 5th layer. The 6th layer is going to be 1 oak, 1 spruce, oak, spruce, oak, spruce, oak. So again, very, very simple pattern. The 7th layer, second to last layer, is going to be 1 spruce, 1 birch, oak, birch, oak, birch, and then again, that little curveball, 1 spruce. Now this is slightly different to the other side, as you can see, with the spruce being there, and that will make sense once we get around to the rear side. The final layer is going to be 1 spruce, 1 oak, spruce, oak, double spruce, 1 oak, and that is again the right side of the head. Just for reference, if you want to add the ears on this side, it'll be this block right next to the oak here, and then the one below. I'll show you what it looks like with the ears in a second, but again, it's optional. And in regards to the hood, we're going to come to the bottom right corner, and we're going to place 1 pink wool. To the left of this, we're going to place 2 pink concrete, 1 wool, 1 concrete, so that's the strip of 5, and on top of this, we're going to place 1 concrete, 1 wool, and it will end up looking like this. So that is the right side of the head. Now, in regards to the ears, if you put them where I put them before, and I go around to the other side just so it's equal, it will end up looking something like this. Again, I don't know 100% if I like it or not. I don't re-add them to any of my other statues, so it looks a bit goofy, but from the side it does look kind of cool. So if you want to add them, that's cool. I also suggest go ahead and add them to the Logan Paul statue if you've gone ahead and built that. If you haven't, I'll leave a link in the description. If you probably like this statue, you'll probably like that one as well. Anyways, heading around to the rear side, let's make some progress right about here. So, the rear side, slightly different in the sense that it's an 8x8, however the left side and the right side is already done, similar to the rear side of the legs. Basically we're placing 6 blocks per layer, joining left side to right side. So the first layer is already done, that's simply white terracotta, and the second layer is going to be 6 oak planks, so nice and simple. Nice and simple purely because it's going to be covered up by the hood anyways. The third layer is going to be 1 birch, 1 oak, 1 birch, 1 spruce, 1 oak, 1 birch, and that is the third layer. The fourth layer is going to be 1 oak, 1 spruce, 3 oak, 1 spruce. The fifth layer is going to be 1 oak, 1 birch, 1 spruce, 1 birch, 1 spruce, 1 oak. The next layer, which is the 6th layer, is going to be 1 spruce, 1 oak, 1 spruce, 2 oak, 1 spruce. The 7th layer is going to be 2 oak, 1 birch, 1 spruce, 1 oak, 1 birch. And then the 8th and final layer is going to be 1 spruce, 1 birch, 2 oak, 1 spruce, and 1 oak. And that is the rear side of the head. That is again an 8x8 square. And just as you imagine, for the hood, what we're going to do is come to the bottom layer of the white terracotta. On the left side, again this is 3D, we're placing 1 wool, 1 clay, 1 wool, 1 clay, 1 wool, clay, wool, clay. That's the first layer, again that's 8 wide, and then the second layer is going to be 1 clay, 3 wool, 1 clay, 3 wool. So as you can see, that's an 8x2, and it links up diagonally with each side, as you can see here on the left and the right side. And what we're going to do to cap it off is underneath, you can see you've still got the neck exposed. On the left side, on the closest to the body, we're going to place 1 pink wool, 1 concrete, 2 wool, 2 concrete, 2 wool, and then on the outer layer, we're going to place 1 concrete, 1 wool, 1 concrete, 1 wool, 1 concrete, 1 wool, 1 concrete, 1 wool, and it ends up looking like this from below. As you can see, it kind of caps it off and gives it a more rounded hoodie look. So yeah, that is the hoodie, and that's also the rear side of the head, which leaves us with one final bit, which is of course the top side of the head. So in regards to the top side of the head, if you come around to the front perspective, it will look something like this currently. What we're going to go ahead and do is work from the back towards the front. So, we've already got the first layer done, that's 2 oak, 1 spruce, 2 oak, 1 birch, 1 spruce, 1 oak. The second layer, next to the spruce, is going to be 2 oak, 1 birch, 1 spruce, 1 oak, 1 birch. So that is the second layer. The third layer is going to be 1 birch, 1 spruce, 1 oak, 1 birch, 2 oak, and that is the third layer. The fourth layer is going to be 1 birch, 1 oak, 1 spruce, 1 oak, 1 spruce, 1 oak, and that is the fourth layer. The fifth layer is going to be 1 oak, 1 birch, 1 spruce, 2 oak, 1 birch. That's the fifth layer. The sixth layer is going to be 1 oak, 1 birch, 1 oak, 2 birch, I think I said birch there, that's spruce, not birch, but that is birch, 2 birch there, and 1 spruce. And the final layer, which is the 7th layer, is going to be 1 birch, 2 oak, 1 spruce, 2 oak. And once you've done that, it will end up looking something like this, and that is the top side of the head. Again, that's an 8x8, and we have the 3D effect right about here. Most importantly, however, that is the statue complete. Once you've done that, you have your very own Jake Paul statue. So all you Jake Paulers out there, hopefully you really enjoyed this tutorial and it lives up to your expectations. If you're more of a fan of Logan, or you're a fan of both, feel free to check out the Logan video. Or alternatively, if you like neither of them and you're more of a fan of someone like Rice Gum, again, check out that tutorial. Again, links in the description. Again, I do appreciate this is going to be one of the more controversial builds on the channel, purely because of Jake Paul and a bunch of the drama that's happening recently. But again, it's not personally me endorsing him or his behaviour or some of the things he does. Personally, I don't enjoy his content, but I appreciate there's a fair few people out there that do, and I have to respect that by, again, doing what the people want. So if you don't enjoy this type of content, again, let me know, but again, I'll have to do it every so often just to fulfill that kind of need. With that said, if you did enjoy, a like would be very much appreciated, and if you haven't already subscribed, again, that would be cool. I do this a lot, so again, stay tuned for the statue tutorials, and hopefully I'll be seeing you in the next few days after I've moved into university with some more gaming tutorials. So yeah, apart from that, thank you very much. Until next time, my name has been Gummy, and goodbye. Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light